Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
First in the building, Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, is on deck. What's good with the Gumbo? Salute to you, brother. May all is well. You know what I'm saying? On the road to greatness. You know what I'm saying? On the roadway to greatness, man. Shout out to my brother Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, the first in the building. Salute WCS, my big bro. What's good, family? What's good with it, Gumbo? And big shout out to everyone that may be en route. Okay, that's en route. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that may be en route, we are midway through the week, and what better time to let y'all know? I want to give a big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side, 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 A-side official. Yes, sir. You better know it. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Gumbo say he heading to Omaha. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, man. You know, make sure you give a shout out to the team Crawford, the team over there. You know what I'm saying? That Gumbo. I'm pretty sure you're going to stop in, you know what I'm saying, see what's popping, get some exclusives, do what you got to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Let Team Crawford know we still rocking with him heavy out here. He shocked the world. He sent these naysayers. Now they have post-traumatic punishment disorder. You know what I'm saying? PD, post-traumatic punishment disorder, because the punishment he put on goddamn Errol Spence was cruel. You know what I'm saying? That shit didn't make no sense how he got these mugs out here still in a state of recovery, and that's gonna take a long time, y'all. It's gonna take a long time. It's not gonna happen in 2023. But let me get to the point of the thumbnail. Canelo Alvarez had his open workout today. And you know, big shout out to Saul Canelo Alvarez, 59 victories, 2 defeats. And you know what I'm saying, one of the pound for pound bestest out here. And he set to face Jermell Charlo September 30th this month. All right. What it does for Canelo Alvarez, it allows him to improve his winning ledger to 60. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he'll be 60-2. When he steps in there with Jermell Charlo, he'll be 60-2. That's what it does for Canelo Alvarez. What it does for Jermell Charlo is pretty much at this point in time, it's almost guaranteed, unless he goes in there and shocks the kingdom of God. You know what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit. Unless Jermell goes in there and prove not just myself, but the millions other who believe in that Canelo will pull this out. Jamel Charlo will host a boxing ledger of 35 victories, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. All right. And I'm not saying that in malice. All I'm saying is I do believe that he's going to go in there and give it his best shot. But his best shot isn't going to be enough. You know what I'm saying? You remember that song back in the day, Gumbo? Hit me with your best shot. You know what I'm saying? You remember that, Gumbo? They say hit me with your best shot. But see, with Canelo, you got to hit him with your best shots. In parentheses, S, plural. And you have to make him respect you. You have to force him to channel a different type of concern that he didn't have before he stepped into the ring with you, Jamel Charlo. I hear that people saying Jamel is holding the weight pretty good to move up 168. And there were some questions that was proposed to Canelo. Flores asked him, with people saying, he's big for a super welterweight, and being that he's going to step in there with you for the first time. Pretty much, Flores was trying to say that Jamel is going to be a bit bigger than you by chance, and Canelo just said, I've fought bigger guys. I've been there, done that already. You know what I'm saying? I've walked that road before. I like my chances. He was speaking English. It wasn't his exact words, but I'm doing a summary. And also, Flores always wants to know the game plan. He want to ask fighters what they plan on doing once they step in the ring with so and so. And Canelo say, he can pressure, he can move. I don't know. I don't know his game plan, but pretty much it's not gonna matter. Canelo Alvarez is saying it's not gonna matter what Jamel Charlo does. It's just experience that Canelo has. He's not worried about anything that Jamel is bringing to the table. I'm not saying he's treating the table as if it's not set. And there's certain, entrees when it comes to boxing that Canelo's not gonna take notice. I'm not saying that. He's too smart. But looking at him, the way he trained, you know what I'm saying? You have to look at it like, he's a professional on a level. When you see Canelo do shit, these open workouts, just the basic open workouts, his shit be different. You know what I'm saying? Not like Spence when he came in there, and did an open workout and he barely did anything. And that's the time for media to get exclusive, on what you have going on, how you looking, how can they assess, your conditioning at the time. Maybe he couldn't do it. Maybe he was in a whole nother world. He wasn't mentally there enough to give us that maximization that we was looking for. But for Canelo, he looked sharp. You know what I'm saying? He looked like, hey, this is routine for me. God damn it. The fighters that I've been in there with, I've entered. I split the ropes and fought on these stages before. You think Guadalajara was something special? Just wait till I step in the T-Mobile Arena again. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be something different. It's gonna be different for Jamel Charlo. He will have to prove to me it's gonna be different for Canelo. That's all. That's all. He's going to prove to me that it's going to be different for Canelo. Because it's definitely going to be different for Jamel Charlo. The fact that he's climbing 2 ladders in the rung, when it comes to the numbers of these divisions, 160, 168. He's climbing 2 ladders into a higher division for the first time versus a king of that division right now. A fighter who is pretty much been used to being at the top for quite some time. That's Canelo Alvarez. Is he going to treat Jamel Charlo just like all the others that was given the opportunity to be a dance partner? but he knew they wasn't on his level? I think so. Canelo's been extremely nice. He put out there that Jamal Charlo was the one that was talking shit about him. Not so much Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a separation in itself. That Jamal Charlo was talking all the trash, but Jamel Charlo has been super, super nice. You know what I'm saying? Just super nice, bro. He's been super nice. He's been ass kissing, puckered lips, nice. He's been fresh lip gloss with a spray of whipped cream, nice. Strawberry juice all over your head with some Nestle Quick, some Nestle chocolate, and some goddamn sprinkles, nice. He's been extra nice. He's been very sweet with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Jamel Charlo's been all this to Canelo Alvarez. Away from facing Canelo face to face, he's made it seem like that he's gonna beat Canelo. He might knock him out. No, I'm not buying that. I don't care about none of that. I don't, Jamel. I don't, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that, for real. I just care about you keeping the same energy because you've been in certain situations where you was just in on somebody. You feel me? You was just in on them hard. You know what I'm saying? Disrespectful, belligerent as hell, man. You know, outspoken. You know what I'm saying? You was just going in on people. You used to that. But you was following orders from Canelo like he was your commander in chief. Another thing Canelo said, you know, he's doing it for my people, the Mexican flag, the colors. And, you know, this is not the first time I heard a Mexican fighter or Latino fighter say they're doing it for their country. That's not the first time. And I don't blame them for doing that. You know what I'm saying? I always look at it like it'll be great if blacks, if we can, you know, say, let's do it for our country. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it for our flag. But Black Americans don't have a flag. You know what I'm saying? We fall beneath the USA colors, the national colors. That's what we do. Canelo falls underneath the green, white, and red, the Mexican flag. And you hear these fighters saying it all the time. Is that, you know, we're doing it for my people. I'm doing it for the Mexicans. And I think it's become so commonplace. You know what I'm saying? It's such a mundane saying coming from the Mexican fighters that they're doing it for their country. That no one should be mad when, you know, you hear the black fighters say, I'm doing it for my people. You hear Shakara Richards saying, I'm doing it for my people to look like me. They try to make it seem like we the one who races, because I guess, you know, a lot of it, they try to say we pull the race card a lot. But look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried, man. You know, I was like, hey, I'm gonna support Jamel Charlo in this fight. I'm gonna root for Jamel Charlo because he's going against Canelo Alvarez. And Jamel Charlo hasn't popped dirty for no steroids. He haven't, no pads. He hasn't. But Canelo has. He's popped fucking clenbuterol. You know, he has, bro. In between the first fight of him, Gennady Golovkin, he popped. And he was suspended, retro dated back. You know what I'm saying? To him being out of the room in that ring in that February, I believe. And so he really didn't lose no time. Gennady Golovkin talk. And it was a good rematch. You know what I'm saying? They went in each other. Gennady was very firm on being very vocal about him popping for pads. And then I look at Jamel Charlo and say, the man never popped for pads or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to find a way within myself to say, I want to trust, I want to support this dude. You know what I'm saying? I want to support my people. You know what I'm saying? I just want to support my people in this particular fight. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to support my people. And then the more and more I started to think about what the particular person I was trying to support, and then all that shit just come back. I have no problem with supporting him, man. But I'm like, I'm trying to drive it home. Like, this dude always looked at his people as being nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wouldn't consider me to be on the lower status quo, man, than you were in life, I wouldn't have no problem supporting you in this fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Boosting you up. But I know deep down inside there, Jamel, I always hear you saying something crazy to your own people. You always want to act like we broke, we peasants, we inferior. You know what I'm saying? We are the help. You know what I'm saying? You have so much than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just always been that way. Like you was just a loose cannon. You know what I'm saying? And it would be different if you was a loose cannon and you was sending those projectiles to a different target, but your projectiles seem to be center mass on your own people. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I have a problem with when it comes to this. When it comes to me looking at it like, can I support Jamel Charlo on this? Am I going to give him an exemption? Being a retired military, worked around, all facets, all around the country, different nationalities, all that shit, different races, all that. Could I give him a pass, even though he's the type of person that looks at people and always want to be on the side of freaking aggressiveness? You know what I'm saying? He want to roughhouse you with his words. He want to browbeat you. You know what I'm saying? With his words. You know what I'm saying? He wanna filter out those aspersions and make sure they sting and they leave you feeling some type of way. And I just find that to be an insularity on his part, because he should know better. We are the consumers. We're the ones that supporting you. And I'm telling you right now, Jamel, Canelo Alvarez looked extremely sharp in there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you didn't look sharp, but the problem that I have looking at what I said with Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez, it just seems like their union and how they work together, how smooth they are. I'm like, damn, can your coach, Diddy James, outcoach Eddie Reynoso? Can you as a fighter outthink Charlo? Canelo was on record as saying, that Terrence had A, B, and C, but Errol Spence only had A and B. He pretty much provided. I'm not saying this particular video, but he just pretty much provided, Terrence Crawford being, more versatile than Errol Spence, right? But then when we try to draw in the comparisons between you and Canelo Alvarez, there, Jamel Charlo, I'm trying to find out, do you have a bravo? Not when it comes to putting our hands together in adulation and what is called an applaud. No, I'm not talking about clapping it up. I'm talking about, do you have a plan B that will make us clap it up? Do you have a plan Bravo good enough so it can be effective in there with Canelo Alvarez? Do you? Because Canelo, even though it may be transparent, Canelo has the A, B, C, and D. He's been there already. In order for him not to get knocked out with Dimitri Bivol, he had to have a plan B and C. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is the type of person that'll implement A, B, and C at the same damn time periodically and basically disseminate that shit throughout his fight, especially if it's not going his way. Bivol was actually having success with Canelo in certain spots where a more feeble fighter would have been stopped, would have been knocked out. But it's going to be interesting looking at what Canelo has to offer, what Jamel Charlo looks to offer. Jamel Charlo is looking to offer something. I don't know what he has to offer Canelo. I don't know what Jamel Charlo has to offer. I keep, my people, I keep seeing my people, talk about this. Hey man, Canelo, Jamel's this, he's gonna be stronger than you think, this, that, and the other. I said, okay, I got it. Cool. But I'm not gonna just sit up here and just comb over everything and forget it. Like it never happened. But when it comes to Canelo, man, he already know what he's gonna offer. He's been here already. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's been here already, bro. He's been there. Man, shout out to the chat, man. Samuel on deck. Hot grease salute WCS. Carlos Rosado in the building. What's good with it, Carlos? WCS salute. Hottest chat in the MFing game. Salute to you. Real talk. You know what it is there, Carlos. Toby Bartlett in the building. Salute WCS in the chat. We're global, baby. We're global. Hottest grease and the hottest chat. Yes, sir, indeed. Definitely. You already know, man. Carlos say, I blame Snack. I blame Snack, man. Damn. We got to get back to that. So, I'm looking at this open workout, and I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. Just a regular routine on how Canelo goes about his day. You know what I'm saying? How he goes about his day in this setting. Looks smooth. Went in there and gave us a full workout with stretches. He introed it with stretches. Got warmed up. Then went to do the jump rope. Got some rope time in. You know what I'm saying? He got the rope time in. And then they went to the mitts. Smooth in there with the mitts. You know what I'm saying? Don't look flustered. I mean, like, real talk. You get Canelo his kudos, so to speak, man. He just looked like, hey, I know when I'm supposed to be at the office. I know what I'm supposed to do. They want an open workout. I know what I'm supposed to do. I've been here many times before, and he still goes in there and give us a solid open workout. Nothing too over the top or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to go in there and punch through the mitts and knock the mitt off the hand. Eddie Reynoso wasn't trying to slap freaking Canelo upside the head with a mitt. And still to this day, man, coach is fired. There's no way. You're looking at Eddie Reynoso and you're looking at Diddy James and what he did. Could you imagine Eddie Reynoso doing that to Canelo Alvarez with all those people in there? It wouldn't have happened, people. That shit wouldn't have happened. That's why I was on Diddy like that. The fact that he is a black trainer with a black fighter, it's not a lot of them out there, especially with the level that he's on. But for him to try to sit up there and act like he's free flowing, he's warmed up, and he's throwing all these combinations they didn't work for in the gym, it looks stupid. You know what I'm saying? It looked novice. You know what I'm saying? It seems like you was trying to showboat on the man. You was trying to show out on him. Then when you see Eddie Reynoso and Canelo, man, they'll smoothly transition from set to set. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way it's supposed to. And then at the end, he gave his freaking interview with Flores, and he did what he had to do. With Jamel Charlo, I'm hoping he go in there and give a good account of himself. Real talk. I hope Jamel Charlo is able to go in there and pull off the upset. I do. As a black man, I do. I wish, Jamel Charlo would go in there and give the best performance he can give to go in there and defeat Canelo Alvarez, because that is the sport of boxing. Not only that, but we don't see a lot of black fighters at the top of the food chain like we've seen for quite some time. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. They was both on the list. You just look at as long as Terrence Crawford was on the list and Errol Spence Jr., who else on there for a while was black? It wasn't Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Devin Haney. It wasn't Shakur Stevens. It wasn't none of them people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying no blacks ain't been on the pound for pound list. I'm saying when you're talking about making history in the sport of boxing, we have black fighters that have done that. But in this particular era, the measuring, um the bar measurement. When people want to talk about accolades and what a black fighters did in the sport, they always mention Floyd Mayweather. Floyd has gone. He's not an active fighter no more like that. So we need the next in line. We need the next in line. Whether it's going to be, because Terrence Crawford's on his way out, man. He's at the top. He's the creme de la creme right now. But he's on his way out at 36 years old. He said he might can fight into his 40s. He may give us another 6, 7. Manny Pacquiao was fighting to his 40s. You know what I'm saying? He may be able to give us another 6 or 7 years. And that's going to be extremely interesting based off how this fight goes for Canelo and Jermell Charlo. The reason why I'm saying that is Jermell Charlo can make history. He can. Jermell Charlo can make history, man. Just like Terrence Crawford made history, Jermell Charlo can supersede that. He can. Jermell Charlo can supersede this. Jermell goes in here at the end of the month and beat Canelo Alvarez. He goes down as one of the greatest overnight. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. If he's able to go in there and defeat Canelo Alvarez, he goes down as 2-division champ, and it would be a fighter who was undisputed in 2 weight class at the same time. And that depended on if they still lift that belt and give it to Tim Tszyu once he step in there. That's the plan. That's the arrangement. They're going to lift that WBO title once he steps in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So he would have been undisputed in 2 weight divisions. He would have defeated a pound-for-pound fighter, and that name happened to be Canelo Alvarez. He's going down in history. He's going down in history. And yes, that will supersede what Crawford has just did. Yes, Crawford was the first to do it, and he will always be recorded as the first to do it. But if Jermell Charlo goes ahead and beat Canelo Alvarez, and he himself is current reigning defending super welterweight undisputed, and he defeats a pound-for-pound fighter, he will go down as one of the greatest fighters of this era. You know what I'm saying? And you say to yourself, well, Canelo already has 2 losses. Yes, you're right. But Jermell Charlo would be the first to defeat him since he, Canelo, has became undisputed. The first boxer to do it at super middleweight. He would be the first one to defeat Canelo in that weight class. You know what I'm saying? Dimitri Bivol defeated him in Dimitri Bivol's weight class, 175. So there will be history. It will be in a culminating morning. It'd be climactic, bro, suspenseful, intriguing. It'll be all those words, man, that Jermell Charlo can really latch on to, bro, and shock the world, man. He'll be able to shock the world, dog. He'll be able to shock the world. I'm not gonna lie to you. He'll be able to shock the world. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It'll be incredible. Jermell Charlo be up here talking this shit so much, people start getting dizzy. You know what I'm saying? Even his brother Maul will be like, "Hey man, I see you," and that'll be crazy. You know what I'm saying? That'll be crazy. I don't think him and his brother hate each other. I just think at the moment they're so far separated. Negative energy will, keep you apart. They so far separated by family and personal shit that it's difficult for them to bond. Especially what happened in the parking lot. His, males, girls jumping on mall girl. I mean, that's personal shit right there. That's all personal. And that's not the first time they had the personal shit take off. They've been on social media several times going at each other. But anyway, keeping it on boxing. Jermell Charlo, you can definitely make history. Do I believe it's going to happen? Do I believe, without sitting up here trying to be pretentious about it? I don't think you get it done, mainly because I always like listen to words all the time. I always kind of pay attention to behavior and mannerisms, and your mannerisms didn't show me that you was all about locking in and accepting challenges. When you're telling the fighter from a lower weight class, just leave you alone, there's no way I can take you serious by moving up to super middleweight and all of a sudden you're in the zone. You're willing to accept the challenge. No, you're happy to be there. I believe Jermell Charlo is just happy to be there with Canelo Alvarez. That's all. Canelo is treating it like another day in the office. Charlo, on the other hand, is appreciative and seem hyper. I agree, Samuel. You know what I'm saying? You own something. I agree, man. I agree, man, for real. I agree. No doubt about it. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. Derek is definitely Diddy because he told Bud, take that when it came to them belts. Hey, man. You know, Diddy always got to be in there. Diddy always got to be in the frame. He always got to be in the direction. And look, a lot of people say that he earned it. Okay, you can say he earned it. Okay, but now you about to have the worst year of your career. That's after receiving an award for Coach of the Year in 2022. That's after. You know what I'm saying? You're about to have you about to have that juju activate itself once again, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Bomac activated Pandora's box. He activated the ultimate juju. He placed that hex. He opened up Pandora's box on Diddy James when he said no more hiding. That was the key phrase that opened up Pandora's box, man. That opens up Pandora's box. They went in there and he lost. Not only that, the Pandora's box already had a backstory to it too. The two times that Tony Harrison went in there and looked suspect. Not Tony Harrison. Jermell Charlo went in there and looked suspect against Tony Harrison, the first fight. And then he looked suspect at Brian Castano. He was able to scoot his way through that. But now, Frank Martin looked suspect in his last fight with Artem. Then you had Errol Spence look extremely bad. And Bomac put it out there and say no more hiding. And then all of a sudden, you don't have nowhere to hide. Your next unified champion is stepping in there with Canelo Alvarez, who is going to be an extremely tough fight for him. Extremely tough fight. It's going to be an extremely tough fight for him. And if Derek James goes in there and looks just as bad as Errol Spence did against Crawford, oh my God. It's been a long time since you know what I'm saying? That song is gonna start to play. It's gonna start to play, man. Ain't no sunshine when them belts gone. Ain't no sunshine, no sunshine, no sunshine. Belts are gone. Ain't no sunshine. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. He's going to give problems to Canelo early. But I see Canelo taking over second half and Sean Mill, who's boss. He's going to give problems to Canelo early. But I see Canelo taking over the second half and Sean Mill. So Carlos believes there's hope. H-O-P. H-O-P. So Carlos believes that there's hope. Okay. All right. I'm gonna be on some positive shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to bring that level of euphoria up, man. You know what I'm saying? For real talk. Carlos believes it's hope that Jermell Charlo can go in there and give Canelo problems. But I must remind you some, Carlos. I must remind you, brother. I must remind you that when Canelo moved up to face Dimitri Bivol, and clearly he was having success in the early rounds there, Carlos. When the scorecards came out, they had Dimitri Bivol like 3-1 or 4-1. He was down 4-1 or something like that in the first 5 rounds. Or something like that. And clearly he was having success in those rounds. He was having so much success, so it was obvious that he was having his way with Canelo, but they still was giving Canelo those rounds, man. And you think Jermell Charlo is gonna get that? Jermell Charlo is literally have to have the best fight of his um cloning life. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to have a out of body experience to go in there and defeat Canelo Alvarez. He is. He's gonna have to have his shit so intact that when they get to the mid part of the fight, he's gonna have to be able to change levels, change gears, and keep that pressure, keep on having success with Canelo, and make Canelo that 15-year-old that was starting boxing such a long time ago. He's gonna have to make all that time come to a point in the ring where Canelo turns a little bit older than what we think he is. He's gonna have to prove it. He's gonna have to say, you know, Jermell's gonna have to be that guy, man. He's gonna have to be a freaking immortal god on that night to go in there and convincingly beat Canelo Alvarez, bro. He's gonna have to be that god, man. He's gonna have to be that god. That's the only way. I just don't look at him as having that Bud Crawford ability to go in there and have levels. Notice I didn't use levels with Jermell Charlo because I haven't seen him with levels. I've seen levels with Crawford. And there's levels that we haven't seen with Crawford. They're still in the archives. They're still locked in the safe deposit box. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it hasn't been an opponent that stepped in the ring with him where he had to say, hey, Bomac, can you got the key on you? Yeah. Okay, next round, can you go get that next set out? Or you talking about the tools that's in this? Yeah. I'm gonna have to use it on this nigga. He was more prepared than I thought. All right. Hey, Esau, I'm going back here to get that. Oh, okay. You need my keys? No, I already got the keys. I haven't seen anybody do that to Bud yet. But when it comes to Jermell Charlo, I don't even know if he has that damn safe deposit box. I don't know, bro. I don't know if he has the tools hidden away that he's just gonna bring it up. I assure you, I'm pretty spot on with this. I assure you, y'all. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it, bro. Thinker Stink is in the building. What's good with it? WCS in the chat. Salute to you, brother. I'm hoping Deontay is gonna be there. Yeah, I remember somebody saying this before, Toby. But let me put it out there once again. Yes, I've been trying to be on some positive, you know what I'm saying, crusade there, Toby. From here to across the pond, I've been trying to keep it on boxing and not bring up every single thing this man has did to piss me off. But Toby said, I'm hoping Deontay is going to be there to say skills pay the bills when Canelo wins, which I think will happen. You're right, man. You know, that's right. And I've been on record, Toby. Previously, I said they always pick and choose the time to take a shot at another black man, bro. Like, who does that, man? Like, that man loses and you send out a tweet, skills pay the bills. Bro, I got the tweet. I got the tweet, man. I got the tweet. Come on, man. You already know where that's at. You already know what that's at, man. Skills pay the bills. Yes, sir, Toby. Yeah. Sam, you say free Bomac, no doubt, man. Free Bomac, man. Free Bomac. Free Bomac, man. Arnold said WCS ASA official to the hottest chat in the MFing game. You already know what it is, Arnold. We in this bitch on a Wednesday. Yes, sir. We here on deck. Canelo is one of the most assisted fighters in boxing history. If Charlo IQ was better, I would give him a better chance. But Canelo as differently beatable. Okay, I'm thinking, you know, to decode this. This is what I would say. I never said he wasn't beatable. Okay, now for you to say IQ, yeah, that's pretty much anybody's IQ. Like you look what Floyd did to him when they would say Canelo's IQ wasn't up to par to mirror that or succeed that of Floyd Mayweather. So we saw the clinic. At this point in boxing, you're talking about, matter of fact, let me verify something. You're talking about Canelo came in the game in 07. Canelo came in the game in 07, dog. All right. Let me verify this right quick. I mean, what am I talking about? Charlo came in the game in 07. Okay. Canelo Alvarez came in the game in 05. You know, a little bit, a year and a half, two, you know, prior to Charlo. Significant difference in the amount of fights that both of these fighters have. Also, for 2 years, I mean, would that be a significant difference of Canelo Alvarez and Charlo? Because you look at Charlo, his fights, one thing I can brag about with Charlo, and I remember looking this up a couple of days ago. I was trying to do a little bit more in-depth research. Charlo, all of his fights was in the US of A. Charlo, I thought on two sides of the coin with this, right? I said, one, I wonder if he would have dipped outside the US to have fights where he's gotten more experience and really awakening another part of him. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at, okay, he fought all his fights in the US of A. And he never went over there to Mexico he fought one in Montreal, Canada. He had one. Take that back. He had one. But he fought all his fights under the nation's colors, the red, white, and blue. And he didn't go over to Mexico like some U.S. fighters do and pick up soft bodies. Now, that's a lot of soft bodies, some ragu sauce, spicy hot here in the U.S. They come off the couch all the time now. It doesn't take them long to get in the character now. Time they say they're going to the ring and make a little buck for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for them to start dripping that tomato sauce into from the freaking locker room to the ring now. We got some soft ones over here. But if you look at Canelo's record, he's been over in Mexico for a long time when he started out his career. Ultimately, what I was trying to get at is that it's not that much of a difference between these two fighters when you're talking about when they entered the sport. All right. But when you're talking about the frequency of the opponents that they was lining up to fight, Canelo, surely they had this guy in the ring at 15 years old and he was freaking on a mission to be built up into the superstar that he is now. Yes, sir. They did it. You know what I'm saying? They did it. Whereas Charlo, he was built up as a fighter and he did win a championship, but he wasn't out there on deployment though. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't out there on deployment. Mike, jump outside, go over there where Toby's at, man, and have a fight in his backyard. You know what I'm saying? Go fight some of these fighters out of the US of A, bro. You know, do something different. That's all I'm saying. Build up your confidence outside the USA perimeter. You know, Canelo, he want to say he don't want to fight Mexicans, no more Mexicans, because he's pretty much overindulged in Mexican fighters when he was on his way up a ladder. Over half of his damn numbers on his resume. Come on, bro. Oh, I never said Mel will win those early rounds, but we can make it interesting. Okay. I mean, I get you where you at with it. You know what I'm saying? And once again, Carlos, I just look at it like, yeah, you're right. It can be interesting if Charlo's performed in a way that we never seen him perform. I mean, I'm talking about a way that we didn't expect this from Charlo. We never seen this. Just like people were saying with Crawford, How he was putting that jab out there, and all the language heading up to that fight, they was like, oh man, Errol Spence got the best jab in boxing, blah blah blah. And then Crawford is said, I got a jab too. And to see his jab just bolo, you know what I'm saying? Just bolo. He had freaking Errol's head on a string, on a rubber band. He was just popping that shit back, bro. You know what I'm saying? The shit he was doing in there, people are still shocked to this day. That's levels. He treated that man like he wasn't supposed to be there. Does Jermell Charlo have that same it factor? Is it a way for him to present the shock and awe there, Carlos? That's what I want. Is it is doing those rounds that you're saying to make it interesting? Does he have it in him to make that shock and awe value higher than anyone will expect? You know what I'm saying? To see him go in there and pull tools, let his ring IQ operate on a level that we never seen before. Is it possible? We'll see, bro. We will see, man. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing. The GOAT is arrived in the building. What's good with it, Blunts? On deck with it. Free the Mac. Yes, sir. Free Bo Mac, man. Yes, sir, indeed. Charlo said Bud has not fought anyone since in 154. And he should focus in his own division. Yet he jumps on the opportunity to fight Canelo. And Charlo might fake an injury to avoid Bud. Damn. See, Samuel's coming in here showing you that he is versed in the art of blade weaponry. Once again, we have a person in here that's operating off strict serrated edges. You know what I'm saying? I totally agree the way you slice that up. He absolutely told Bud to focus, and he ain't fought nobody 150. Absolutely, you're right. And that is why I'm extremely hesitant, optimistic on going all in with this guy, Samuel, regardless if the shade of his skin is that of mine. That's why I'm optimistic, bro. I'm like, man, outside of your rambunctious freaking attitude, I'm looking at everything else that you've been doing to Crawford. And I'm saying he doesn't give me the vibe. Like if you was talking your shit, say, oh man, I'm gonna fuck Crawford up consistently. I'm gonna fuck him up. I ain't worried about that shit. He can get it. All right, once I get through the win or lose, once I get through Canelo, win or fucking lose, I'm fighting you. Win or fucking lose, I'm fighting you, Crawford. If he was to give us that energy, then I'm like, my mentality, my attitude has changed. My perception has changed, right? My shit's changed. I say, okay, he's talking his shit. Okay, I see you. All right, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear, bro. I like that. But all I've been hearing, stay in your division. You ain't fought nobody one thing. He ain't did nothing. I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? Who does that, bro? I'm like, damn, dude. You can't stay dialed in. You can't let the needle just stay right there, spiked, and keep it there and say, you know what? Once I'm done with this fight, Canelo, win or lose, I'm fighting you, Crawford. No, he's not doing that. He's not doing that. He want to come up and talk about, he ain't fought nobody, no 154. He ain't did shit in the division. He need to fight somebody. But yet, just like it was said up there, what Sam you just mentioned, is the fact this man has jumped on the opportunity to go up 2 weight classes and just to have the opportunity to say, I stepped in there with Canelo, just like he did when he was capping with James Harden. He was up there telling, man, I already did what he did, man. I'm about to step in and face Canelo. Oh, he's a clout chaser and clout chaser. He's a clout chaser, a clout chaser. Yes, that's what I get. You're clout chasing. Not everybody has clout to say somebody's clout chasing them. But in this particular case, we all know Canelo has clout. And he's up there, Jermell Charlo, using Canelo's name in vain and not telling the whole truth that yes, you have done what Bud Crawford did, but yet you didn't tell him, yeah, that's his second time doing it, but I did it too. And I look to do it again. I would have respected you more. Say, I look to do it again when I face Canelo in this next fight. But he didn't say that. He was up there to my, I already did what he did. Huh. Nigga can't fuck with me, man. I'm about to face Canelo. Maybe James Harden didn't even know who Canelo was to the degree for which you was trying to present to him. Maybe he didn't know. Definitely got a free Bomac, no doubt. No doubt about it. Cooking with Sir Seniors in the building. What's good with it, brother? How you feeling? I appreciate you, man. Yeah, y'all definitely hit that like button if you haven't already did so. You know what I'm saying? WCS ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stop the pace just because my channel was, opposite side of monetization. I still have a hottest chat in the MFing game on deck. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing changed. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Those are same sentiments that we says. Let's see if we get a laser focused male. I hope he does make it a more intriguing fight, but I still got Nello like you do. Yeah, I'm looking at it like when you hear Canelo say, I'm doing it for my country. He don't hesitate. I'm doing it for my country. I'm doing it for my people. I'm doing it for the Mexican colors. I don't have a problem saying I'm doing it for my people. But once again, as long as I've been living, I do have the right to like assess, mannerisms and people's words and how they act in certain situations. And I look at it like, okay, how can I support this dude? And I look back just like it was mentioned earlier about him saying skills pay the bills and take a shot at Deontay. Why? Why you got to take a shot at Deontay though? Y'all under the same banner. Why you got to continue to take shots at Crawford when he's proven, he's official. He's proven that he is the top dog. He's the creme de la creme. He's up there. He beat your stablemate. He in the same sport as you are. He's not residing in Texas. I don't know what's all the animus is about when it comes to Jermell Charlo having all this disdain. This just can't be because he moved up to the 147-pound division, and all of a sudden he gave your stablemate one of the highest paydays of his career. You're not being logical, brother. Am I right or wrong, people? He's not being logical about this shit. Mel Charlo is not being logical and understanding that even though Errol Spence lost, he was still a part of history. He was part of the history that allows him to provide generational wealth for his family. He was able to establish a rivalry with the fighter before they even answered the bell in the first fight. That rarely happens, that you can establish that much energy with two fighters before they even step in the ring and square up. So he was able to establish that. Even though he lost, he was able to get paid for his loss, for his performance. You know what I'm saying? For his action. He got paid for it. And that's going to benefit him moving forward. Now, of course, we've seen fighters that get beat up in the first fight to get the rematch. Lennox Lewis was knocked out cold by Hasim Rothman, but he demanded the rematch immediately. And we all seen what happened. So in this scenario, Errol Spence didn't even happen like Lennox Lewis. He wasn't flatlined. He wasn't knocked out, KO'd cold. So therefore, that's the little bit of a little bit of watering cultivating this rematch. They're gonna look at it like, what are the pros that we can add to this? Well, he's moving up to 154. The aerosexuals, they won't use these excuses that he was weight drained because he is moving up to 154. And I've been on record as saying this, y'all, that this man is saying he walks around, he's a natural 165, 168 pounder, right? So if you look at the amount of pounds that's in between welterweight to 54, is his body still going to struggle to make 154 comfortably as it did at 147? So if the answer is no, he should be good to go, then he should be able to make 154, look strong, look filled out, on the aesthetic part. You know what I'm saying? On the physical part, he should look good. He should feel good because he has to make 154. But on the flip side of that, the intriguing part is, how is he going to download the data to come up with a game plan for the rematch? That's where I'm at with it. That's where the biggest dilemma comes into play for that fight right there. But I would rather Jermell Charlo, truth be told, I would rather him said, win or lose, I'm coming back down to 54 to face Crawford. Then you would have people looking at it like, okay, I'm going to support Mel Charlo even more now, because he said, win or lose, I'm coming to make my next fight Terrence Bud Crawford. But he didn't say that. He said if he wins, he's going to fight. He want to fight Canelo Alvarez in December in a rematch. That wouldn't be so bad. Listen, that wouldn't be so bad if then he would have said, after that rematch, win or lose, I'm going to fight Bud Crawford next. Because truth be told, they're supposed to fight in December. They're not going to fight before December, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. So let's just say they fight January, February. We can still potentially, if Jermell was on that type of time, we can potentially get another fight, around May, June, something like that for Bud Crawford and Mel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? People want to see that shit. Even if he take a loss to Canelo, but yet he was saying he want to fight Bud at 154. People will be more tuned in to his fight with Canelo than him up here always denying shit and say, oh man, he need to pay attention and get shit done at 154. He need to leave me alone. You come in here with that leave me alone bullshit, bro. It turns people away. So we'll see how it is. That's all. We can definitely see how it's going to play out. That's the only thing I can say. We can definitely see how this shit going to play out. Period. Because this is still the truth until somebody prove me wrong. This profound right here. This thumbnail right here. The boogeyman has called out and made it perfectly clear he want to fight. Errol Spence Jr. He fought him, and then he wanted to fight Mel Charlo. He's yet to fight him, but at the end of the day, man, it comes down to him having the confidence to want to step in there with Bud Crawford after he faced Canelo. And the worst part about it, to those in the chat, that people are not even considering. It's wild. It's wild. Like, we just seen Crawford go in there and knock down Spence several times, right? And really the most a fighter can brag about with Spence being on the canvas is when he was in the amateurs. But the crazy part about it, it's not too many people that's spinning up the idea to say, what if Canelo knocks out Jermell Charlo? Will they allow that to happen, being that he's still the undisputed champion? Because I told people the third man in the ring is there for a reason. Before he gets flatlined, I would think the referee is going to step in and stop the fight, just so it can be a TKO, and just so he can live to fight another day, absent of people having that etched in their mindset that he got flatlined. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked out cold. People are not even spinning the reel on that. No one's saying that Canelo can potentially knock Jermell Charlo out. If I was to go up here and say, oh, goddamn it, goddamn Canelo might James Kirkland freaking Mel Charlo. He might get that Kirkland effect. You know, people be up here in my DMs again. Hey man, I don't like what you said, man. Man, you know, man, Charlo a better fighter than Kirkland, man. That's just fucked up, man. I fuck with your show, dog, but goddamn it, sometimes you be taking it too far, dog. I don't appreciate that shit you be saying. That's just overboard, man. You talking about he might get the Kirkland effect? You know Kirkland wasn't ready for Canelo, dog. But Charlo's undisputed at 154. Man, goddamn. He only lost once to Tony Harrison, dog. He's ready. All right, bro. You say he ready, he ready. You know what I'm saying? You say he ready, he's ready. No doubt about it. Those are my same sentiments, W says. Let's see if we get a laser focus male. I hope he does make it a more intriguing fight, but I still got Nello like you do. Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Mel Charlo defeating Canelo Alvarez, but if by chance they have other scientists in the lab looking at film, bouncing ideas, brainstorming, creating different scenarios that could possibly happen, because Canelo has plenty of footage out there. You can just goddamn take the footage of his last fight. It went 12 rounds with John Ryder. It went 12 rounds. I mean, come on, let's be honest. It's not like Canelo is an enigma. He's been beat already. But not everybody is beating Canelo. Not everybody can say they beat Canelo. You don't have at least a handful, 5 fighters to say, hey, man, I beat Canelo. I too beat Canelo. I did beat Canelo. I have beaten Canelo. Yes, I did beat Canelo. You don't have 5 boxers that can say they beat Canelo. So, but yet, with the amount of fights he have and retrieving that last fight with John Ryder, it's footage out there for them to look at now. It's not like he's an enigma and the shit that you see him do is not something that you've seen in boxing. No. I mean, Canelo's mind is one of his stronger assets when it comes to that ring. He is a smart fighter. Very, very smart, intelligent fighter. And Jermell Charlo is going to have to prove that he's just as smart too. And don't get into a freaking headhunting series where he's trying to knock the dude out. I'm telling you, man, it's hard for me to explain to people, like, you can't just cut that. You just can't cut it off. You can't flip the switch off. You know what I'm saying? When you have that impulsive switch, when you have that go switch for the wrong reason, no, in boxing, that can be your demise. You know what I'm saying? When the fighter is hitting you over and over and over again, then you just want to headhunt and knock him out. He's going to have to be more composed. If you start taking incoming, Mel, you're going to have to know how to handle that shit, bro. As you all know, Shakur Stevenson may potentially be fighting Edwin De Los Santos after somehow Emmanuel Navarrete name was up. See, that only happens with boxing. You know, when it comes to UFC and Bellator, you look at their schedule, they have fights scheduled all the way out. Like Dana White said, they already have fights scheduled for the end of this year, all the way into 2024. How can it not be that way for boxing? I don't get it. It must be because it's a non-regulated sport and it's just open-ended. But, you know, it was rumor out there that Shakur would be fighting Emmanuel Navarrete, another champion, but yet he fight Edwin De Los Santos now. You know what I'm saying? Possibly November 16th. Now, as for Frank Martin, yes, people are going to continue to stay on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? They're going to continue to play hopscotch on his shoulders. They're going to continue to goddamn pogo stick on your shoulders, bro, because you backed out when the paperwork was sent over there. And yes, that is considered you alluding. You alluded Shakur Stevenson, aka in the slang terms, you are part of the Duck Masters Coalition. Yes, you are, Frank. You eluded Shakur Stevenson in the biggest payday of your career. And who knows who you're gonna fight next. Now, Shakur is claiming that you asked for 50-50. Now, this is the difference between Shakur Stevenson asking 50-50 from Devin and you, Frank. Shakur is, once again, his leverage is what he's been able to achieve in his career and how his name ring bells out here in boxing. That's what he was at with it. You asking 50-50 with Shakur Stevenson is the same argument I have as to why Shakur Stevenson argument to ask 50-50 with Devin Haney. Okay. You yourself falls out in the worst way, asking for 50% with Shakur Stevenson, and you ain't really did nothing, bro. You haven't did anything. You haven't did anything. Jackson Marinez and Michelle Rivera, and then looks subpar against Artem, bro. You haven't even won a title, a defended the title, none of that, bro. You still searching for the names. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for you, brother. It just doesn't, man. It doesn't look good. Moving on to the next, Francis Ngannou fighting Tyson Fury. Yeah, I'm going to check it out, man. But once again, I'm going to say it like this. And this is not something I use on a regular basis for regular, just for average fighters having a puncher's chance. But Francis Ngannou was a UFC heavyweight champion who vacated and left the UFC due to, pay discrepancies and his beliefs that he should be getting paid more than what the UFC was saying would be the most, that Francis Ngannou would have made. I want to say that he has a puncher's chance, being he does possess power. He does possess power. And you're looking at a lighter heavyweight in Deontay Wilder, who was also able to land several punches on Tyson Fury and drop him. Does Ngannou have the capability to GPS those shots? Is he going to have the right coordinates? Can Ngannou gets it done? Is it any way, him stepping in the ring for the first time as a boxer up against the top dog? You're talking about stepping there with the top dog, Tyson Fury, in the heavyweight division. Are you smart enough, knowing that you can't use kicks? You cannot clinch. You can clinch, but you can't clinch and punch, to the point of hooking and punching. You cannot land those hard kicks that you have. You cannot break your opponent down differently to get on the inside and then, try to land those hard shots, which assist either with your fist or your elbows. You can't do that in boxing. You simply have to use your left and right hand, your knuckles. Can he do that with Tyson Fury? I'm curious. I'll look at the fight, though. Definitely, I'll look at the fight. I'm not going to lie. The shit that still has people buzzing, though, is Thurman. When Thurman said Crawford didn't beat a real champion, that shit is just lunacy. I was talking to some of my colleagues, man, that shit is just lunacy. It's preposterous, bro, that Keith Thurman can be taken serious to say that all of a sudden, when you fought Manny Pacquiao, you was a real champion. I did not hear one person say that Manny Pacquiao, you didn't fight a real champion, because we never seen Keith Thurman look like that against anybody there, Manny. But then you get Keith Thurman, who obviously is suffering from that Manny Pacquiao shot to the body, right? And then not to mention of the boulder, the rock slides, that happens on those mountains when he's up there meditating. We don't know the damage that happened when those rocks were sliding down the hill, and one probably skipped directly over Keith Thurman's head, making impact on the top of his cranial cap. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's some CTE damage going on there. But that's one of the dumbest shit that you can say for attention there, Thurman, that Crawford didn't be the real champion. This is the same guy who was chasing you. And you was up here saying, yeah, I watched that boy come up and this, that, and the other. You had 2 belts, Thurman. You had 2 belts and you weren't going to fight Spence. You had 2 belts, bro. And now all of a sudden, it's almost like, damn, I want to call racism on this light-skinned niggas hating on this dark-skinned nigga. For real, I want to call racism on their ass, dog. I was like, goddamn Thurman hate, man. He being racist, dog. How can it be so many black men hating on a black fighter out of Omaha? How, man? It got to be a skin complexion, goddamn it. Y'all hating on that black man, for real. For real, man. Y'all hating on the dark-skinned brother, seriously. I'm just going to call it, man, seriously. For Thurman to come up there and say he didn't be the real champion shit, it's just, bro, you need a cup and we need some blood work done. We need an MRI, a brain scan. We need to get with Dr. 805 since he ain't never did this shit. And you need to go to him and get you a scan. We need some neurology. You know what I'm saying? We need some neurology data. Yeah, we need to see what lights are on and what lights are off. Because goddamn, there's some areas in there that's emptier than the motherfucking store in the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Them empty Macy's warehouses, bro. We need to see which ones is which. It's some shit that's just not flickering on right now. This man said the dumbest shit ever. Just when I couldn't think it got any dumber from listening to these content creators, Keith Thurman comes out and pretty much say that Crawford didn't beat a real champion. This man had not 1, not 2, but 3 championship belts. 1 more than Keith Thurman had when he was reigning unified welterweight world champion. And when he was beat for his last and final belt by Manny Pacquiao, who was in his 40s, no one said, Manny, you did not be the real champion of Keith Thurman. Come on, bro. Come on, man. The damage Crawford inflicted on Spence, it will be etched in the minds of these naysayers for a long ass time, y'all. A long time. Thurman goes on to say, it's funny how these fighters want to fight now. I mean, that's bullshit. It's funny how these fighters want to fight now. But back then, all they could say was, I haven't fought anybody. Now they begging, looking for a check. Can't make this up. So y'all can't really get mad at Crawford for that because Canelo said, yeah, he want to payday. You know, that's what Canelo said. And a lot of people are coming for Crawford right now because he's at the top. But look, we have to look at the earning status. Did he earn that spot? Yes, absolutely. He has the juice. He earned it. He earned it, bro. He earned it, man. EA9 earned. He did. He did, bro. Nobody can dispute that. Not even you, Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Not even you. You're on record as saying you and him came up from the same, Olympic year, but yet this man is a 3-weight world champion, and you have acted like you're extremely scared and frightened to move up to 154 and get up out of that 147. You're somehow just not sure of yourself. And they was calling you one time, baby. They was calling you one time, man. Come on, man. What's going on with this shit, dog? Keith Thurman say, do what you want with your career. Go after Canelo. Make history. Be big. Don't fight Danny. Don't fight Thurman. I'm still an active fighter. I still love looking for these fights. It's not my fault that you're the best fighter out there. That was the only hilarious part that he said. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that you're the best fighter out there. Like I said, there's some political stuff when you were back with Top Rank, Bob Arum. You're not with Bob no more. You fought PBC fighters, but you still haven't seen the one that is just that dog. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I'm dropping a link in the chat, man, for whatever topic y'all want to talk about, this Frank Martin shit, or this Jamel Charlo shit, or this goddamn Terrence Crawford situation, where I haven't even spoke on this, on where they saying that Terrence Crawford wants the money to be right in the rematch with Spence. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure some people gonna be out here acting like, oh man, Crawford don't deserve what? Crawford up here trying to do to what? The man beat the stew out of freaking Spence. Of course he want to get paid in the rematch. Of course some people need to make that shit happen. Of course it's not going to be Al Heyman. It's going to be the same people that made the first fight happen. And somebody's going to have to take less, because we're talking about undisputed this time. It's already a designated undisputed world champion, and that's Terrence Crawford. So of course he should ask for more money in the rematch. Get the bag there, bud. Get that motherfucker, dog. You know what I'm saying? Thurman get 8 up at 54. I just want him to try to, open one door. I mean, close one door and open the next door. I want to see, can he do it? Is he scared, Blunts? I mean, come on, bro. They say these fighters ain't scared. But if you look at how long Errol Spence was in the welterweight division, knowing that it was a problem for him, why you didn't move up? Keith Thurman, why you didn't move up? You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia did. Why you didn't move up? If you consider yourself a big boy, why Sean Porter didn't move up to 54? Why y'all just decided to say, I'm just gonna settle for one division and I'm content with that? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? That shit don't make no sense, bro. I'm gonna let the link stay out there for about, God, I'm gonna give it a nickel or maybe 3 pennies. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's where we at with it, man. Let me see if any other worthy topics out here that's worth talking about. Jermaine Ortiz, not going in there to fight Shakur for a check. So they talking about Jermaine Ortiz was possibly a fight next for Shakur Stevenson. And then you hear about him fighting Edwin de los Santos, We still trying to find out if Anthony Joshua going to fight Deontay Wilder. Come on now, give it to us, bro. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is, Anthony. It's time for you to step up to the plate, bro, and get that work.
Bomb Squad!
Stop playing around. You know when you hear that Bomb Squad, them chill bumps is gonna come over your body there, Anthony. Oh shit, it's finally here. Oh my God. I never want this shit to happen. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, what you gonna do? Are y'all gonna fight or not? It's time, bro. You wanted to fight in between. You got it. You knocked out Robert Helenius, who was a common opponent, Deontay Wilder. Now, guess what? It's time for you to step in the ring with him, bro. Step in the ring. You fought a common opponent. Let's go. Even though it took you longer to get him up out of there, let's go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it in. Ronnie Shields is on record as saying Charlo has to go to the body when he fight Canelo. Don't see a lot of fighters doing that when they step in the ring with Canelo. He's right. He definitely has to go in there with a plan to try to work that body. But while working that body, you have to be very conscious about not being countered too. You know what I'm saying? It definitely. Shout out to Terrence Crawford for unleashing those tweets. He really set the media airways on fire. If you wasn't able to really see what those tweets were about, he said y'all created a whole team. He on the wrong side of the street when it was boxing. Have you heard some like that? Till I moved up. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how all these fighters want to fight now, but back then It's funny how these fighters want to fight now, but back then all they could say was, I haven't fought nobody. Now they're begging, looking for a check. Can't make this up. I don't know what prompted Terrence Crawford to come out and unload the magazine, drop that magazine, reload, but somebody pissed him off. Somebody pissed him off. They say, did me dirty. See, when somebody say did me dirty, you know the rest of what they have to say is not going to be clean at all. He said, had all these people that don't know anything about boxing, all trying to discredit my accomplishments. He haven't fought nobody. Lies. But not one wanted to be that so-called somebody, though. All these fighters that was claiming to be these own bosses was hiding behind the term called Al. Now they talking like they can fight whoever they want. Boy, y'all some pawns. Go sit down. My mind, how the tables have turned at Danny Swift. You at Keith Thurman Jr. would never, and I mean never, get a shot at these top dog. At the top dog, and that's me. Y'all whole asses didn't want no smoke when I wanted to fight. Remember? Now y'all want to fight so bad. Go keep fighting each other like before. Somebody pissed this man off. Terrence say haters don't even know why they hate. At times it becomes so natural to them they can't even see or notice. You know what I'm saying? What about this one right here? We know who number one is now. That's an old tweet though. You know what I'm saying? Look at Errol Spence. He had to concede once again. Congrats to at Terrence Crawford. Good shit. Hopefully we can do it again before the end of the year. And then you already know what it is. At the end of the day, this is what happened July 29th. This is what I asked y'all to do. Put some respect on that man's name. And you know what? Boom. 2-time undisputed. Nobody can take that shit away. I'm going to leave you with that right there. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official, man. Y'all already know. Salute. Appreciate y'all. Hold it down. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We should do it again. And I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports. Subscribe.